Do you ever feel like you're constantly trying to get your life together, but nothing seems to stick? The problem may not be the lack of motivation, it may be a lack of simple systems that support your daily life. In this episode, I'm sharing the 5 foundational routines that have helped me create more structure, reduce that stress, and stay consistent without feeling overwhelmed, and why these simple habits can make such a big impact on your time, your home, your health, and your finances. If you are looking for practical ways to feel more organized, productive, and in control of your everyday life, this episode is for you.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renae Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
So many of us feel overwhelmed because we're trying to manage everything. And when we are relying on motivation and trying to stay organized rather than relying on systems, we can feel like we're being pulled in so many different directions. So when we can create simple routines in each of these main areas, then we end up building a system that works to support us and help keep us organized. It reduces that stress and we just feel really good. And the crazy thing is that we are actually being more productive, even though we feel like we have more freedom just because we're relying on those systems to help keep us organized. So if you are new to this podcast, I want to just say welcome. As you listen to more episodes, you will realize that the main thing that we focus on here is building the 5 foundational routines. My name is Renae Matt, and I have had many, many, many years of struggles in so many of these areas because I was trying to do everything perfectly, and I was just getting so overwhelmed because I wasn't able to keep up. You're just not able to do everything all at once. And over time, I learned that I needed to build simple systems to keep me on track. And once I really honed in on the 5 that made the most sense, and I simplified them and simplified them and simplified them some more and brought them to the podcast, they have helped so many other women. And that is what I'm here to do, is I want to be able to support you in feeling like you can get your life organized too, because I have been able to see the benefits that it has done for me. So we're going to go into the 5 foundational routines, what they are and why they help you, before we actually wrap up on how to build them. So the first routine is your morning routine. This allows you to start your day with intention. It's going to help you reduce that decision fatigue right away in the morning. It helps create a calmer start to your day. It helps you focus on your personal priorities, and it sets the tone for the rest of the day. A lot of people will think that a morning routine and taking time in the morning for themselves is selfish because they feel like they need to get up and start being there for their family or going to work and getting all these things done. And they push the time off for themselves until later in the day. But what happens when you switch that around and you prioritize yourself first in the morning, it helps you to fill your cup. You know how people say you can't pour from an empty cup? That is what this helps with. If you can take time to do what you need to do for yourself right away in the morning, then you are able to actually show up better for those around you. It feels selfish to start, but when you actually take the time to do it, you're going to be a better version of yourself and you're actually going to be able to serve those around you better. And that is what is going to make the difference, because it's actually not a selfish act when you are doing it to be able to serve better later. So once you get consistent with a morning routine that is focusing on your personal priorities, you will find that a good day often starts with a good morning routine. The second routine is your meal planning routine. This is where we are simplifying our food decisions. We want to save time during the week. We want to reduce the stress around meals and the decision fatigue that comes with evening meals, especially. It will help support our health goals, especially if it's food related, and it helps us lower our grocery spending and food waste. There are so many benefits to having a good meal planning routine in place because when we know what's for dinner, everything else just feels easier. And then we get to number three, and the third routine is your daily 7 home routine. And this just helps you stay ahead of household tasks because it helps you to reset your home in 30 minutes or less based on your personal priorities. So it is completely customized to you. And when you do this regularly, it helps keep clutter from piling up. It helps make cleaning feel more manageable, and it helps create a more peaceful home environment. And on top of that, it reduces that need for the marathon cleaning sessions. You don't have to take an entire weekend to clean and catch up on laundry because you've been consistent with your daily 7 home routine, because consistency always beats that occasional deep cleaning. And you will find that if somebody calls you up and says, "Hey, I'm in the area, can I stop by for coffee?" then you are going to actually feel calm and say, "Yeah, come on over," because you're not going to feel like your house has a tornado that has gone through it and you are terrified that anybody's going to stop in randomly. That is not going to happen because you've got this routine that supports you. And then the fourth routine is your movement routine. This is where you are supporting your health style consistently. It improves your energy levels when you have a consistent movement routine. It supports your physical and mental health. It builds your confidence, it builds your strength, and it just makes exercise feel like a normal part of life. It doesn't make it feel like this huge, daunting task anymore because it's simply part of your day and what you do. And the goal with your movement routine is not perfection, it's consistency. And that's where you're going to start seeing the changes and you're going to see all of the amazing benefits that come with having a consistent movement routine. And then the fifth routine is your budget routine. And this one is a big deal because financial stress can be so overwhelming. And when you have a budget routine in place, basically you are giving every dollar a job. You are making a plan for every dollar that you bring in and every dollar that you are spending. So when you have a budget routine, especially when it is a simple one that helps keep you on track, it reduces that financial stress. It helps you reach your financial goals faster. It helps prevent overspending and it creates confidence and clarity around money. And when you think of a budget, I felt this when I started too. I felt like a budget was going to be restricted or we didn't have enough money to start budgeting when we started. But what I realized is that a budget is not restrictive. It is a plan for your money to give yourself more financial freedom. And it is so incredibly important, especially with the rise in how often financial stress is related to poor relationships or divorces, because it is a big, big deal. But when we can create a budget and we can especially work together to create that budget, you might find that it actually strengthens your marriage to be able to be on the same team and work together towards a financial goal. So, when we are looking at these 5 foundational routines, we're looking at how they work with our life because, like I said, they all work together to create this cohesive system. So, your morning routine is helping you manage your time. Your meal planning routine is helping you manage your food and nutrition. Your daily 7 home routine helps you manage your home. Your movement routine helps manage your health. And your budget routine helps you manage your finances. And together, they create this strong foundation for everyday life that helps keep you organized and helps you reduce that stress. So, the big thing to remember is that you do not need to master all 5 routines overnight. you can start with one and build from there. And I have put them in order of what I think is probably most beneficial. Your morning routine really will just help you take that time in the morning. So if you do not have a solid morning routine yet, I would start there and then build on. Once you get your morning routine in place, you can go to your meal planning routine and then go to your daily 7 home routine, then your movement routine, then your budget routine. But if you feel like you kind of need to go out of order, that is okay too. You don't have to go in the order that I have recommended. I just think that that is probably the easiest way to get them all in line. But if you need to start with a different one and you need to start out of order, that's also okay. This episode is focused around these 5 foundational routines, so you can go back into hundreds now of episodes. We're at almost 300 episodes. So you have so many episodes to choose from that are going to help you build these. Now, the first batch of episodes when I first started this podcast, they're going to be probably the main ones to help you get your routines built. But if you want to actually like get a workbook and go through these one by one and start building them into your life, I have a workbook called Your Organized Life Blueprint. And this helps you to just basically focus on each area and build a simple routine that is completely personalized and customized to you. Because I can't build a routine and hand it off to you and say, hey, this is the perfect routine. Now go do it. Because my life is probably very different than your life. And even if they're similar, there's going to be kind of nuances of what we personally prioritize in our life. So something that is important to me might not be as important to you and vice versa. So by going through this workbook, it helps you to actually go through your own thoughts and your own ideas and then to pull them together into a simple, cohesive plan. And by keeping it super, super simple, it allows you to make it a little bit easier to stay consistent with. And that's when you're going to start seeing the dramatic changes because they are simple enough to maintain consistency. So if you want the workbook, you can go to renaematt.com/blueprint. And I'll also make sure that there is a link in the episode description for you so that you can click right to it and check it out. There's a couple different ways you can get it. You can get it right away as a PDF, and then you just get a digital copy, or you can actually order it through an Amazon link, and then you get a physical copy that is mailed right to you. So it's completely up to you how you want to get it, but it'll walk you through. And then there's a couple of other things that are included in the workbook, and it helps you work through this like 8-week process to get them all in place and to build them and implement them. And hopefully by the end of that 8 weeks, you will feel dramatically different. But you can also go back into the old episodes and check out everything you need from there and build it that way if you don't feel like you need the step-by-step workbook. But that is an option if you would like it. So before we go, I'm just going to recap those 5 foundational routines so that you can really evaluate what you have going on in your life and see if there is one routine that you can really focus in on to build a simple routine and get consistent with it and start seeing those big changes to help you feel more organized and less stressed and less like you're being pulled in all different directions. So number 1 is your morning routine. Number 2 is your meal planning routine. Number 3 is your daily 7 home routine. Number 4 is your movement routine. And number 5 is your budget routine. So I encourage you to take a look at those and start building simple routines in each of those 5 areas and just see how much it changes for you and how much more organized and stress-free you feel. And I encourage you that if you liked this episode or you like the idea of getting these 5 foundational routines in place, that you share this episode with a friend who also feels a little overwhelmed and maybe needs a simpler approach to creating routines that actually stick. Because we're all in this together, and when we can share that with a friend, it will hopefully help them as well.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.